Hi guys, I know it's been a while since I've done any form of review, and I'm really sorry. I'm actually in the middle of moving, so it's very chaotic. One of the reviews that I would like to do is the Divergent movie. I did the book review for the series, and it was amazing. Absolutely love Veronica Roth. This here, it was a bit hard at first to get into the characters, because in my head for the characters was a lot different that I pictured in the books as to what they've portrayed in the movies. So I did actually have to watch this about 3 or 4 times, kind of for the fact that I got to perv on Theo James. I mean, any female who can not admit to perving on Theo James. Yeah. But I will admit, I was very skeptical with Shailene Woodley's character as Triss. Now, not because she is a bad person, she doesn't look right, the actual character for Triss, I was sitting back going, yeah, she's reminds me of short, scrawny, damsel in distress sort of, I suppose, an analogy kind of thing. But after I watched it the second time, because I had this debate with my cousin, because I watched it by myself, then my cousin came over and watched it with me, and she put forth the argument. She's like, well, she's exactly what I pictured. And I went, how do you work that out? And she goes, well, she had to have some sort of athletic ability or some sort of strength in herself to be able to transfer over to the Dauntless and survive the training process and so on. And then that got me thinking. So I sat back and I went, okay, I'm going to go make a coffee. This was a couple days later. I was going to go make a coffee, sit down and actually watch the movie again. When I watched the movie the third time, I was picking up things that I would not have normally picked up, and especially with the fact when I actually saw Shailene's portrayal of Triss, everything started falling into place. It did actually come at a very big surprise for me, because it just hit me like a Mack truck. It was like everything was perfect. The downside of this movie is they did leave a couple of key, I guess you could say key scenes, out of the movie. For starters, there was a couple of things that it didn't. But I'm trying to word this without giving the entire thing away, obviously. But there was a couple of key factors. You know, when you watch a movie after you've read a book, and you can go, there was supposed to be this part in here, this part in there. That would have made more sense if they just put this together. But the graphics are amazing. The portrayal of the simulation room, my cousin and I had this discussion as well. I said to her, I thought it was like one of those Robotech rooms where you put, say, like a face mask, the goggles, the simulation goggles on, and then they were moving around in the room and people were watching them move, but they couldn't see what their fear landscape was. Whereas though in the movie they've basically put it as, I guess you could say, like a dentist chair, and then they put them under the simulation serum, and then all of a sudden you go into this alter reality of the portraying of their fears or their fear landscape and so on. There's a couple of things in the movie that obviously every movie's going to have flaws, but overall they have done a fantastic job at depicting Divergent as the book. I'm really looking forward to Insurgent coming out. If Insurgent is as good as Divergent, I'm hands down, I can't wait for Allegiant. I really can't. But from what I can gather as well, because I did Google a couple of the interviews with Theo James and Shailene Woodley, and I went on. I've looked at a couple of YouTube ones as well, and I've noticed that they're talking about introducing characters, and I'm trying to work out whether they're introducing the characters that were supposed to be in the Divergent book and then introducing them in Insurgent rather than having them all in the one movie. If they blend Insurgent, I guess this is just my opinion on the speculation of what's going to happen, but if they blend Insurgent with Divergent, it's going to take away the actual purpose of having the 3 separate books. I don't know, overall I'd be interested to see how they're going to do it if they do, but I'm very, I sort of think Divergent's Divergent, Insurgent's Insurgent, Allegiant's Allegiant, and what they've got in Divergent is the depiction of things is a bit different to what I would have thought they would have portrayed, but yet again, that's the brilliance of reading. If you've got these images in your head of exactly what you think it's going to be, and then they bring this movie out and it's like your perspective changes a little bit. But I think overall I will have to give this, I don't know how you do movie ratings, I don't know how you do book ratings, but all I can say is I watched this a lot. That's all I gotta say. My DVD has scratches on it with how much I've actually watched this since I've had it. It's a very good movie, and one person that I would love to give credit for this movie is Kate Winslet, because she disappeared off the face of the earth after Titanic. I was like, where the hell did this woman go? And when they brought her back, I was thinking, like, when they brought her into this movie, I was thinking, that's a bit strange. Like, what character could she play? Because I'm so used to, I guess in a way, when I was watching Titanic, I saw her as Rose the Replicator, and I was like, okay, well, what could she possibly be? And her portrayal of Janine Matthews, she does a really, really good job. I was really, really surprised. I think overall the cast that they have put together for this, it works and it melds and it's fantastic, and it just doesn't disappoint you. Like, you know, in some movies you watch and you think, oh my god, why did they even put this person in here? There's no point in having them in here. These ones, like, as I said, I was very skeptical of Shailene Woodley. I really was. Theo James was hands down the ultimate portrayal of Four. He did a fantastic job. As I said, Shailene, it took me a little while to sort of process why they would choose her as Triss. But after I had the discussion with my cousin, and then I ended up watching it again. Oh, it really does. They have done a really good job. So, guys, my best advice, and I say this all the time now after my cousin drummed it into my head, please read the book first. And please read the book. And make sure you watch this movie when you get it at least twice. Because the first time when you watch it, you kind of judge it and you go, why didn't they put this in? Why didn't they put that in? And I will admit there is a couple of key factors they have not put in. There is a couple of characters that you don't meet. There's a couple of characters that don't appear at all at this point in time. You hear their names, but you don't see them. They're not actually introduced as such. But when you watch it the second time, keep an open mind and just enjoy it. Absolutely enjoy it. Fantastic movie and fantastic portrayal of the book. Hands down, probably one of the best movies that complements the book, so to speak, even with a couple of things left out. But that's no different to every movie. They can't put everything in, but I think the things they took out were more important than what was actually there. So, guys, all I gotta say is brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and please let me know what you actually think, whether it be sending me an email or whatever. But I don't know. I think personally there was a couple of things that they should have left in there, but let me know, and I guess we'll wait and see what Insurgent brings. Have a lovely day, guys, and bye from Australia.